checkmate. Welcome back into Studio 10. It's International Chess Day, but we're playing a game of chess this afternoon. But before we get to king one another, let's talk to the people behind it who are moving those pieces.
That's right. Joining us right now in Studio 10 is Michael. And Michael, you're one of the co-founders of Village Lansing. So tell us a little bit about how that organization got involved and the impact it's had here.
Yeah, so the Village Lansing was born out of a need to kind of fill a gap in this gun violence prevention world. There's young people who just kind of get forgotten in that world, in that space. So we created the Village Lansing, trying to bring the community together around that focus.
Yeah, and you do it with so many different programs, including this thing called chess.
Here. So chess obviously requires a lot of patience and strategy, but why did you think that this game specifically was great for our community too?
You just named it. Like, you know, strategy and learning how to deal with stressful situations as they come in the right, correct way, but also thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead. So a lot of times people make impulsive decisions that aren't, based on any type of thought process. So in the game of chess, every move that you make could be your last. It could be something that's devastating, something that could be pointing out to you that looks amazing, but then you go to grab it and everything that glitters ain't gold, and then the game's over. So we have to start thinking moves ahead of our life and not just, react on impulse. So
yeah, what a beautiful game, but also metaphor, as you were saying.
Yeah.
So we are a little bit on the beginner side in terms of chess. I mentioned I'm a little intimidated of it because, there's so many different pieces. So what tips do you have for people that are just trying to get into this game that really makes you think and obviously is a fan? Like, chess has been going on for years.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is find like an app to practice on, read a book, get on the internet. There's so much information out here in the world. But aside from that, like, each individual piece has its own movement they can make. It's got its own lane, which is again pertains to life, right?
Right. Okay.
Everybody in an organization has their own lane and thing they're supposed to be doing. So kind of the same thing here. The idea is to trap the king so the king can't move. So ultimately, that's the end of the game, is when the king can't move. That's checkmate.
Awesome. And you're always teaching people to stay on their toes. Now, again, because we are beginners, I'm not even sure which is the king, which is who, the queen.
Yeah.
So actually, can you tell us which each of these pieces are?
So this is your king right here. He's got the cross on his head. This is your queen, your bishop, your knight, and then your rook, right? And then these are pawns.
Pawns.
So when you hear somebody say somebody's a pawn in the game, they say that as if they're minor to the game, but pawns in chess are really important. Their movement, their blockers. So that's the idea of the game.
Okay, so you can't forget about the pawns. You can't move them
No,
aside.
no, they're really
big
important.
pieces.
That's right.
And so you not only have this beautiful metaphor for chess, but you have programs available for both adults and youth. When can people go to those clubs?
Yeah. So find us on the villagelansing.org. All of our programming is on there. Most of it's geared towards like the 15 to 25-year-old range. But our chess club is adult chess club as of now, and that's every Sunday from 2 to 5 at our village location. So they can find us on the villagelansing.org for all of that information, but all of our programming is all on there for all of our stuff: gun violence prevention, intervention, and support.
And what's the response been? Has there been a lot of people that have been coming to these Sunday club meetings?
Yeah, so we do this club through another program that comes in and helps us with this. But they've had 10, 15 people, just ritualistically every Sunday they come in between 2 and 5. And it's a time to come in and fellowship, learn the game, but also there's some people in there that really know how to play, so.
There's some intense stuff.
All right, guys, so there's a lot that we can learn then, too, if we join. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all that you're doing in our community, too.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And real quickly, before we head to break, we are going to check in with Colton for an update on weather. Colton.
Yeah, we still do have